So magical.
There's not a more Christmassy place in the whole Pacific Northwest than Leavenworth, Washington, a tiny mountain village with big Bavarian spirit.
Tie-dye shirts, just like in German Bavaria.
It's the perfect place to have your holiday arguments in German.
Es kostet zu viel.
Nein.
Willkommen in Leavenworth. I'm Reaz Mahmoud, a top international travel influencee. My wife Stacy and I are on a quest to extract maximum joy from minimum effort. We don't need to be there, but we're going anyway. Join us for some blatantly unnecessary travel. With celebrations throughout the year, including Oktoberfest, more than 1 million people visit this city each year. I've been here twice, and this latest trip was significantly more enjoyable because we went in early December during the weekdays, just before the peak Christmas crowds. We drove here from the Portland area with a couple of noteworthy stops along the way. The first was Multnomah Falls on the Oregon side of the Columbia River.
Check that out.
The second was the Stonehenge replica at the Maryhill Museum on the Washington side. I have a separate video on my channel from a past trip to this fascinating place if you'd like to know more about it and see the associated museum. For the rest of our trip, the highlight was seeing the transition to dreamy winterscapes as we got closer to Leavenworth. Whatever direction you're traveling from, I would definitely recommend driving during daylight and having tire chains in case the roads are icy along the mountain passes. I'd also recommend having shoes with good traction. During my first visit, I had decent winter boots, and I still fell hard on my Rumpelstiltskin. To help us make the most of this trip, upon arrival, we immediately consulted Zoltar at the Fudge Hut.
Putting $1 in here, that's so unfortunate. Unfortunate. I'm not actually.
How unfortunate.
I am Zoltar, at your service. Listen closely to my instructions now. Hard work pays off over time, but laziness, it pays off right now.
This was great news because I wasn't willing to work hard at all. Front Street, with all of its cute stores, is the main attraction in Leavenworth.
What did you find just now?
A stain. That looks like a butt.
Wow. Okay, we'll be sure to censor that.
Stein.
During our first evening, we found that some stores closed early, around 6 or 7 p.m., but a few places did remain open a bit longer. This was one of our favorite shops, where they grew freshly baked gingerbread on this tree. If you don't have patience to grow your own, you can buy one of these kits and create some adorable gingerbread tableaus. Aw, I love you too. For a snack.
We've come to this choo-choo train, and right below is the Nutcracker Museum.
Here's a pretzel tree, the kind that German grandpas dream about while taking cozy holiday naps. It was nice just to walk around and window shop. We'd have to come back tomorrow to actually go into most of the stores.
So good.
We didn't come here to buy a lot, but let's be real.
If you don't got money, take your broke ass home.
Before heading home for the day, we sat down by the fire at this table, giving me time to reflect on my flubbed song lyrics from just a moment ago. Don't got money isn't the same as ain't got no money. Fighting imposter syndrome with every ounce of privilege and entitlement I could muster, my thoughts turned to how incorrect the original song lyrics were. The next day began with a trip to a reindeer farm. Well, these reindeer are as Middle Eastern as Jesus himself. While waiting for your turn to go into the petting area, you can stay warm by a fire or visit the gift shop. After a video with some fascinating facts about reindeer and safety instructions for interacting with them, we paid them a visit.
Oh, you're bossy. You're like my dog.
Feeding these reindeer was the highlight of my Leavenworth experience. As long as you follow the rules, even the bossy ones eat with surprising gentleness right from the palm of your hand. We topped off this memorable experience with some coffee and Scandinavian treats before heading back into town. For someone who typically dislikes shopping, I found a surprising amount of joy in visiting the stores on Front Street.
Make a wish, throw a coin in the dish, turn around once, rub your elbow on the stone, your wish should come true.
All right, make it happen.
I don't have a coin.
Oh, well.
It doesn't take credit.
This store will knock your socks off. Just look at the range of these items, featuring iconic soap opera stars to masters of the Renaissance. I also liked this fair trade shop, Jubilee Global Gifts. It was lunchtime, and I was on a mission to get at least one German dining experience in Leavenworth. München House has traditional and vegan brats, along with an array of mustards, and some tasty apple cider sauerkraut. From there, we visited this photo art gallery, followed by a bookstore with new and used items. Speaking of Krampus, this might look like an ordinary comic book store, but once you step inside, it's a Krampus miracle. We noticed a horse-drawn carriage and immediately got ourselves to this pole in the middle of Front Street where the ride starts. This is Belle. Not only is she glammed out, she's a genius. She has escaped 3 times and reported to her usual workstation, and when no one was there to take the reins, she continued to do her route on her own, following traffic rules and stopping at the red lights. A bit of a rule breaker and follower, but surely she's on Santa's good list. Speaking of which, remember this store? If you want maximum holiday energy, this is the place. Shopping here is like getting repeatedly punched in the face by Christmas, only to ask, "Please, Mr. Kringle, may I have another?" In the end, we walked out of here with exactly 1 ornament as a gift. But we weren't done. Our final stop for the night was a store called A Paw Above. With expert guidance from the staff, we picked out some treats for our recently adopted dog, Obi, who wasn't ready to travel with us yet. We started our final morning in this mall with a standout cafe that served delicious savory and sweet crepes. Within this mall was perhaps my favorite store. We love to support local artists and take something inspiring back home from each vacation. For our last stop of the trip, we walked another block over to the waterfront.
So far, I'm glad we've come this way because the pathway is really nice through these trees and the ground's covered with snow. Very nice wintry scenes.
And with that, we were off. You do rock, Leavenworth. As much fun as I had, I was eager to get back home and share a part of our holiday adventure with Obi. He's half German Shepherd, so a treat from Leavenworth means something extra special to him. We end today's journey with a segment called Travel-Sized Tales, miniature stories for people on the go who want to enjoy literature, but not too much. Timmy whispered to his father, "Last Christmas, I saw Mommy kissing Santa Claus." "Oh, I'm sure it was just a friendly holiday greeting," his father said, winking across the room to his wife. "Okay, but this year I saw her kissing Krampus." "Wait, what?" "Auf Wiedersehen,"